Take this opportunity to appreciate Justus and all the organizers. This is great. This is great. You have done something very, very good. And I want to thank all of you for turning up, because you can prepare an event, but the Bible has many stories of where events were prepared by a king and people had enough excuses. So thank you so much for turning up. Give a hand for yourself for turning up. I want to share with you a small message titled, "Those who break the silence make a difference." Those who break the silence make a difference. Now, to break the silence is to speak when everyone prefers to be quiet. That's what we mean by breaking what? The silence. It's not just making noise together with everyone, because that's not breaking silence. That's contributing to noise pollution. Breaking the silence is when you speak at the time when everyone thinks it is wise to shut up. And so we say those who break the silence make a difference. To break the silence is to speak about what others are shy or are afraid to speak about. To open up your life to the public so that somebody else can get courage in their struggle is actually to break the silence. Because there are many people with the same struggles, but they are silent. And so those who break the silence make a difference. Now, to break the silence is to take a risk. You take a risk because it may affect your future engagements. It may affect business partners. It may affect employment. Some people may look at you differently when they hear your story and they form an opinion. And that's why we need to really congratulate the men and women who have come out to break the silence, because they have taken a risk that many of us will be shy to take. Those who break the silence make a what? Make a difference. Those who break the silence make a what? Make a difference. Now, when Adam and Eve in the Bible sinned, they ran away from God and preferred to be quiet in a bush. But guess who broke the silence? It's God himself. The first person to break the silence when the situation was tense and required somebody to speak was God himself. In Genesis chapter 3, verse 9, when God calls Adam and he says, "Adam, Adam, where are you?" And Adam does what we all do. He lies. And God puts it straight, because breaking the silence is speaking the truth. Is not saying what is convenient for the public. You are not trying to package yourself to sell yourself. You are saying the truth so that that truth can help you and help someone else. If God had chosen silence, we would be hopelessly lost. What if God had decided and said, "Okay, these guys have decided to hide? Fine." And then he goes back to heaven and he also keeps quiet. What will have happened to all of us? It is important to take note this evening that those who break the silence, including the Almighty God, make a difference. When silence is broken, something better will always come out. When you read 2 Samuel chapter 13, verse 19, there is the story of Tamar, who got raped by half-brother Amnon. But she decided she will not keep quiet about it. She broke the silence by tearing her royal robe and sprinkling herself with ashes to signify that something was wrong. And do you know what that caused? That caused her real brother Absalom to notice and say, "Something is wrong with my sister." And he took the sister in and later on, of course, revenged for the sister by killing Amnon. I want you to notice that Tamar's silence would have favored Amnon the rapist. And so those who keep quiet are on the side of perpetrators. Those who keep quiet are on the same side with those who are promoting behaviors in society that are harming society. We need men and women to speak up. Tamar refused to be silent, and that made her get a safe haven from her brother Absalom and even the revenge for her ordeal. And so it is true, ladies and gentlemen, that those who break the silence make a difference. When you read Mark chapter 10, verse 46, we find blind Bartimaeus. He had a personal problem. And so he hears that Jesus is passing by and he has a solution. And he starts saying, Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me. And guess what society did? Shut up. They went to his inbox. And they told him, shut up, keep quiet. You are making noise. Let him pass. You think you will be assisted because that's what society does. And I've seen it many times. I've seen people revolt on TikTok saying, what I said yesterday, I don't care. All of you coming to my inbox, get out of here. That tells you that society is still the same. We like running to the inbox and telling the person, let's continue with the conspiracy of silence. Don't talk. Don't expose. You are exposing our family. What's your family? Is it a business brand? What are you trying to sell? A bunch of cousins, uncles, and aunties. What do you have? You are saying protect our family. From who? And so Bartimaeus made noise and got help. But all other blind people who never said anything, their names are not even in the Bible. And I'm sure he was not the only blind man in that region. So those of you who are silent, keep the silence. But those who make noise will make miles in life. If Bartimaeus had remained silent, he would have died blind. Those who break the silence make a what? A difference. There is a lady by the name of Rosa Parks in the U.S., a black lady, who refused to be silent about segregation in the Montgomery bus. How many black people are taking those buses? And this side was for white people, and this side for black people. And she comes in and decides to say, I will sit. Even if it's against the law, I will sit. And without uttering a word, she broke the silence about segregation in the transport system in the U.S. And today we celebrate her, when I'm sure at that time somebody may have advised her that you will get yourself in trouble. You will get yourself in trouble. But she preferred the trouble that eventually set the black people free. I'm here to tell you that Rosa Parks refused to be silent and triggered a process that liberated black people in America from transport segregation. Those who break the silence make a what? They make a difference. How many people had taken that bus that day? How many people had taken that bus that week, that month, that year, and many years in the past? But it took one person, and I believe, inspired by the Spirit of God and empowered by God himself, that it is time to act. How many religious people are there? How many Christians were there? How many people who called on the name of God were there? But they said nothing. They continued the segregation, siding with the enemy. I came to tell you that those who break the silence make a what? Make a difference. Whistleblowers have exposed crooked people in government systems and led to prosecutions and even change in society. And we have even whistleblowers in this country. And we want to celebrate them because they did not choose the conspiracy of silence. You cannot be in an organization and see that the government is at risk of losing money to individuals when people are dying in northern Kenya for lack of food and you keep quiet. It's a curse. And this country needs more whistleblowers who will risk their life so that we can know what happens behind the confidential letter, stamped confidential. We need to know what happens behind there. And so those who break the silence make a difference. Journalists have done exposés that have opened the lid to evils that eventually have been condemned and corrected. And these things need to carry on. We need to encourage the journalists. And today we are in a space where, because of technological advancement, you can award yourself a degree, a diploma, a certificate in journalism, and you can run yourself a whole media house by yourself and do the exposés. If you die in the line of duty, we will celebrate you, but don't be silent. Those who break the silence make a what? A difference. We want to celebrate Kenya Human Rights Commission that have come to support our brother Justus Nandwa, because you have also made a huge difference. What will Kenya be without the Kenya Human Rights Commission? We want to support you, and we ask God to bless you. I was just looking at a few things that they have done. There have been issues on Nubian rights that Kenya Human Rights Commission have taken up about their registration, getting IDs, and the registration in NIMS. It was a whole court case that they took to court. Now, whether there was a win in court or a loss, what matters is that somebody spoke up for a community that, who knows, who are these Nubians? I've never met even a Nubian myself. I don't even know how they look like, but somebody spoke up for them in this country. We want to celebrate them. And you know, in 2020, unknown to many of us, the government wanted to introduce a device to the telephone system in the country, Safaricom, Airtel, and what have you, that will spy on you and me. And these guys went to court to say, no, don't spy on Kenyans. Can you imagine the way you have locked your phone with your eyes, with your thumb, and with your pattern, and then there is somebody who just wants to get in direct and see what you are doing. And here, Kenya Human Rights Commission said, no. We are going to court together with others to make sure this does not happen. We need to celebrate people who don't keep silent. Otherwise, by now, your relatives who works in government will be knowing all your juicy stories that are going on. There was a Bernard Murage who went to court again with these gentlemen of Kenya Human Rights Commission about the thin seam on equity. Then there is this one, Bloggers Association of Kenya. You have been told I'm one of the bloggers, and I'm very happy. The government came up with an act in 2018, computer misuse and cyber crimes, that was going to stifle all of us, including Justus, so that you are not free to express yourself. And guess what? There are people who came together and said, we are going to court to make sure that this does not happen. We need to celebrate such people. So that's why we are saying that those who break silence make a what? A difference. And so we want to thank you, Justus, for giving a platform to break the silence and make a difference in personal lives and in lives of many people. I work at the university. I've been there for the last 19 years working there, but I've been a total of 23 years around there. And I can tell you many young people are struggling with alcohol and drug abuse. And it's not even from the university. They arrive, first years arrive. They arrive in Nandi County, Baraton University, and that evening, somebody is totally inebriated. They have gone, found alcohol and drunk. You can't say that they started at the university. Somebody who arrives the same day and is totally drunk, that doesn't begin at the university. And so today, because of this platform and because of what Justus is doing, I can cancel some of them and I send them and say, can you go and watch this story and tell me what you find out? Now it becomes easier at almost no cost on my side to be able to counsel these young men and women using the stories of these great people and many others, because they decided to break the what? The silence. And so, Brother Justus, you have made a huge difference because of your platform, and we ask God to bless you so much. I want to celebrate some of the names that I just came across. Caroline Kage, eventually I've put a face to the name. I've now seen her live. Are we together? Now, when I'll be telling the students, I'll say, no, this one I know. This one I was with her in Nairobi the other day. Are we together? Isn't this Nairobi? Won't today be the other day? Aren't we together just almost 2 meters apart? Would I be lying? No. And so I'll be saying, hey, I was with this one in Nairobi the other day. Can you listen to her story, please? There is a Lydia who, an award-winning actor. I saw that face and I said, I know that face of Lydia, but I know it from some program in Citizen. And can you imagine, with all the acting she did, all of us who are enjoying the acting never knew that there is a story behind. And that has become even much more encouraging than even just the drama that we were watching on TV. And so we want to celebrate such people. I came across an Anne McKenna, Life After Prison. There is a Regina Jane who was introduced to prostitution in teenage. There is a Martha Rena on spiritual blackmail. Very common. One spouse joins some church and now the whole family is in chaos, because there is a church that is giving a lot of prophecy and what have you, and people are going the whole night praying. Now the family is in chaos. Very interesting things here. There is a Robbie Mukonjero telling us a story in prison after beating the husband's lover. And then she goes to prison and the lover takes over everything she left behind. This is, what is life? Can you imagine? And then there is a Joyce Chepkemoi bringing us issues of post-election violence. I just came to say that Justus has made a difference. Are we together? He has made a difference. We need to celebrate him. Now, there is a Bible verse which says in Isaiah 58 verse 1 that shout it aloud, do not hold back, raise your voice like a trumpet, declare to my people their rebellion. You see, friends, evil in society is addressed by breaking the silence. That's why the Bible says, shout it aloud. Do not hold back. Raise your voice like a trumpet. Declare to my people not their victory, but their rebellion. We like shouting graduation, shouting marriage, shouting childbirth, but it's time to shout about evil in society so that we stop it. God has commanded us to look at society and break the silence. And those who break the silence make a difference. 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 24, but the king replied to Araunah, I insist on paying for it. I will not sacrifice to the Lord my burnt offering that cost me nothing. King David went to a gentleman and he wanted to offer a sacrifice. And the gentleman said, oh, you are the king, have everything for free. David said, if anything is worthwhile, it can't be free. If anything is worth, it can't be what? Free. And he said, it will be a curse on my side to offer God a sacrifice for free. David said he would not enjoy free services. David insisted on paying. We too enjoy services of those who break the silence. But must we get it for free? Because I'm imagining, if there are so many cameras, I know the cost of cameras. I run a small channel on YouTube that I do church business on it. I know the cost of cameras. If cameras are here, whether they are rented or bought, it has cost what? Money. And when you see men and women seated here, they have come here, it has taken a cost. Whether matatu, whether motorbike, whether Uber that brought them here, it has cost money. Must we get it for free, fellow Kenyans? Must they risk it all and we enjoy without paying anything? Can we, in our small and big ways, support the breaking of silence? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we should not leave this place without making a small contribution towards this. Organizations can contribute, individuals can contribute, so that we boost what is going on. And we want to thank God for this kind of people who support. Those who break the silence make a difference. We may not have a channel like Justus' channel. We may not even access these people like Justus accesses them. But through our contribution, we can contribute to the breaking of silence in this country. You see, there's a Bible verse which says in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7, who serves as a soldier at his own expense? Can KDF go to Somalia using their own money? That they put money together to go to KDF to fight Al-Shabaab on our behalf? It's unethical and improper for a soldier to go to war at his own cost. How can we enjoy peace the soldier has created, yet we have paid nothing for it? How can we celebrate whistleblowers without even supporting their daily struggle? As Justus is busy interviewing these people for hours, and then they sit down to edit for hours. Hours is just to watch and tell each other, there's a new episode, and we just run watching it. Some have not even subscribed. The bare minimum of subscribing. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it is time we outgrow that which is free. I have learned I have learned that free things, unless they are from God, it's a curse. It is only God who can give you the free, and it is free. But anything else that's free is a curse. If you learn to pay for your own stuff, you will do well. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to challenge us today that we may not have the kind of money that politicians have, but God can bless the little we have when we contribute to make a difference in breaking the silence. Justus has put money into this. There is a budget that we don't see. You know, when he invited me here, I walked in and I knew a lot of money has gone into this. I was just sitting there and just thinking of this backdrop. Just the cost of this backdrop. I don't even know about renting the place. Just the cost of the backdrop and the comfortable seats. And then we just walk out as if it's okay. Is he a politician? If he was a politician, I would understand, because maybe part of our money has gone round to do this. I mean, this Kenya, we know what politicians do, isn't it? If a politician did it, I will not give a dime. I will even demand a soda on top of it. Are we together? Yeah, because this is our money which has just taken a longer route to come back to me. But this gentleman is not a politician. I didn't even see him aspire into anything last election. I think, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to speak as the Bible says that no soldier should go to war at their own what? At their own cost. He should not continue doing this at his own expense. And I want to challenge all of you, even when you have your own organizations, part of the community service you can do is to make a donation, to partner with him, isn't it? Yeah, in a small way. And who knows, can you imagine the name of your small company that started 5 years ago appearing, running down with Justus with Moments? Are we together? And I have a company or so. I think if you promise to run our name down there, we can give you something in dollars. Are we together? So, I mean, something in... Those who break the silence make what? I just came to say, ladies and gentlemen, before you and before the whole world, that Justus, you have made a difference, a huge difference. God bless you.
We can do better than that. Let me ask the chief guest to please come back. And thank you so much. That was very rousing. You know, usually we say chief guest and then people think it'll be the boring part. But really, that was excellent, wasn't it? Yeah. And I noticed with a lot of concern that you only mentioned the ladies that you watched. Hatukuguza jameni. Bado. I was very concerned. I want to invite the gentleman called Davis Malombe, who is the executive director KHRC, to come on stage, please. Hii ni kupeana tu certificate hapa. Thank you very much, gentlemen. You can have your seats. Thank you so much. Round of applause for our panelists. They did an excellent job as well.